Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. So I did say that I was going to be playing with the little book of Christmas which accompanied the Christmas blockbuster, just to sort of wrap up that whole bundle of things that came, and give you a few ideas of what to do with each one. So today I'm going to be using this little book, which is actually the 9th little book of Christmas. I'm actually also going to bring in my little book of sentiments. Now this isn't this year's, I think it's either last year's or the years before. I've also got the Trim Me foiled insert pad that I'm going to be using as well. And also this is the Matte-tastic edge-to-edge foil pack. It's got loads of different designs in a couple of different colours of each, and this happened to have this beautiful musical scores on, which I kind of think is Christmassy. It's not necessarily every day, so I'm going to bring that in as well. Okay, so let's just pop these bits out of the way for a second. And I'm going to start by bringing in a piece of card which is 6 by 12. And I'm going to need my scoreboard, which I've very helpfully hidden at the back. And I'm going to make, for my first card, an off-centre gatefold, just to prove that you can actually really do anything with these little books. So I thought, I saw the image, let's go that way, the image that I wanted to use, and I thought, well, it'll go well if I use it in this way. Actually, let's just move that out of the way, because I think I've still folded that the wrong way. I have this, so with this cardstock from Paper Cuts, there's a slightly whiter side and a sort of slightly duller side, so I like it on the whiter side. So that is our score. So I've scored it at 4 inches, and then I've turned it around and scored it at 2 inches, just to give me that off-centre gatefold. And you could have it either way. If you wanted a small piece on the left, I generally go for the sorry, excuse me, the larger piece on the left, just because it feels more comfortable to my eye. But obviously if you want to turn that around, you can do. You can also, if you've got dies, you can turn that into a circle, put a fancy punch on the edge, you know, loads of things you can do to really make that an absolutely fantastic knock your socks off card. But I do love the off-centre gatefold. Okay, so I'm going to start with the inside of my card. I'm going to use gold mirror matte because I've got the gold foil on the Matte-tastic piece there. So I'm just going to have a drink because my throat, sorry, just keeps drying up for some random reason. So I'm going to start with the matte on the inside, and because that space is 6 by 6, I'm just going to take 2 notches off 2 of the sides, which is just going to give us a really thin white border around the edge. Okay, and then that should fit quite nicely into the middle there. And then I'm going to grab my little sentiment Trim Me insert. So let's see, we've got Christmas blessings and goodwill, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, season's greetings, send in warmest winter, that's the one we want. I know that before I go any further, but have a magical festive season, and from our home to yours this festive season, have a fun-filled Christmas. No, it's definitely the warmest winter wishes. Now on the back we have got measurements, so I'm looking for the 6 by 6. I'm just going to start by popping it in and cutting it to 6 by 6. And then I can reduce my layers down. So I'm just making sure the line that's marked at 6 by 6 is in the line of my trimmer. Just making sure it's right on the centre. And then I can just do this last piece here. Could just do is go and take it up, that's it. And then that sentiment is going to be exactly in the centre. And then what I'm going to do is, so that's actually gone to exactly where we want it actually, so that's cool. So by following those 6x6s grid marks, it's brought us out at 5 3/4. So this should mat onto here perfectly. Let's have a little look. Do just a smidgy tiny weeny bit off the bottom, just to make all of those even. And it's cutting quite well, even though it's paper. Sometimes paper doesn't cut quite so well on this trimmer. But that's our inside of our card. So let's get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. So then we're going to take another piece of gold, because we're going to work on these outside panels. So this panel on the left is 4x6. So I'm going to take 2 notches off of that, and 2 notches off the 4, 2 notches off the 6. And that will fit onto our side piece. Let's get rid of that piece. And then this side is 2x6. So I'm going to take 2 notches off the 2. And 2 notches off the 6. Okay, and then that one should fit quite nicely onto there. Okay, so we'll do the easiest piece first of all. So this right hand side I'm using this score for. That's not easy to say, score for. So I need this to be 1 3/4. And then 5 3/4. Now I'm not sure if there is a right or a wrong way with this, because it has notes going both ways. So I'm hoping it's that way up. So I'm not musically minded. I like music. I've never been able to play an instrument or anything. Right, I'm going to pop this trimmer down, because the next piece is going to be something from the little book. So what I'm going to do is bring in the guillotine. So the page that I decided to have a little play with is this one at the back, and I want 2 pages. So let's have a look and see what that is. So as it stands at the moment, it is 2 notches under the 6, so it's perfect in height, and we need it to be 2 notches under the 4. So if I bring it over to here, that should fit our mat perfectly. No, I need to take a little piece off, sorry, because this mat is 2 notches under the 6, so this needs to be 5 3/4. And I think, yeah, I'll take it off the bottom because it is slightly wider on the bottom anyway. So that's going to go to 5 3/4. So we've just cut that down just a little bit. Just check what have I done with that. Oh, I've only gone 2 notches off that. Brain is not engaged, so it needs to be 3 3/4 by 5 3/4, and then that should fit quite nicely onto there. So that's the look that we're going for. And then I'm going to do a little bit of decoupaging with this piece here. Not too much, just a little bit, because normally when I make these cards, these off-center easel cards, there would usually be a topper on there instead of that that picture. So I'm not going to go too much on there. Now obviously, because a lot of this is paper, I'm going to be using my Crafter's Companion Dotty tape pen, just because that's the one I've got at hand. I know Hunkydory have got their own now. They didn't have when I bought this, and actually it was Mum that bought them. She bought a box of them, so I'm still working through those. But the other glue that I'm going to use, the glue that's going to allow me to move things around, is the Kalau all-purpose glue. So So we're just going to manoeuvre that into place and then give that a press down. So we want it nice and flat because, you know, people are going to be writing on it. And then now, because we're going on to the cardstock, which is the back of the gold mirror, I can come in with my normal glues, which is that Collall All Purpose, and then just for the corners some Collall tacky glue. And then we can pop that straight into the middle. Give it a good press down. I'm going to give these a press as well. Okay, so that's the inside sorted with our insert. So let's start on this side. These are both cardstocks, so I can just go with my normal glues on these, and I do want to pop a little bit of ribbon on as well. So I am going to put the ribbon on before I attach it to the card so I can hide that at the back. So there is our beautiful, I love this one. I wish I could buy just a pack of this music one. And like I said at the beginning, hopefully I did say it was the Matastic one. Okay, so I've got a bit of red ribbon here. It's a bit long with the scissors there. Let's just take that bit off. And need some red liner tape. Just my preferred tape for gluing ribbon on the back. And I'm going to have this at the top, I think. Or shall I go all the way along instead? I could change it. I know this is too short now. Actually, I'm going to change my mind. I've got another piece here. Is that going to be long enough? Yes, it is. Okay, so grab some more red line tape because now that's in the wrong position. Okay, so that's going to be better, I think. So I'm going to take the backs off. Let's just lean it on there so it doesn't stick to my table. And then I'm going to pop that underneath. Oops, it's stuck. Underneath, and then bring that all the way down and around. Trim those. I like to put a little bit of tacky glue underneath and on top of the ribbon just to seal it in, and that tacky glue will stop any, you know, the ribbon fraying or coming apart. Adds a little bit of strength to the card in that position. So I've just taken the backs off those sticky red liner tape. Even though they're in the wrong position, they might as well earn their keep, and stick this to my card. And then I'm just going to pop that on, add it in, and piece of that red liner tape. The red liner likes to stick to you. There we go. So that is where we're at the moment. And then we've got this piece here which needs to go onto there. Again, it's paper, so I'm going to use these dots, and I'm going to use this all-purpose glue as well. So the reason why I don't use the tacky glue is just due to the water content of it. It can make the paper bubble up as it soaks into it and wets it. But because the all-purpose glue has an alcohol content to it, it doesn't do the same thing. It works in a slightly different way. Okay. So then this piece is going to come onto here. And any image that you've got in this sort of portrait orientation, would be perfect for this sort of card. And you just need to find, literally it's a 2-inch piece of card, so any offcuts from the main kit, you know, if you're making a 6 by 6 card, let me just show you if I've got a piece here. So sometimes you have pieces like this cut off, and if you've got an image that sort of fits in with it, that would be a perfect way to use up that little piece of card. You know, Wait Not Want Not is a beautiful card, and all you need is an image from the book that matches it, or one of the other books, you know. So that is the basis of my card. I'm also going to grab from the sentiment book, I think I'm going to go for red, if I've got red and gold. Come on now. Aha, I see the red. What have we got? Thinking of You at Christmas. No, I don't like that one. Got any other reds? Aha. For a Little Sprout at Christmas. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Festive Wishes and Snowflake Kisses. I think I'm going to go for this one, which is Have a Sweet Festive Season. So it's slightly more red than my ribbon. Let's just double check there's not any other reds in here. It's this one, Winter Blessings, Tidings, Peace and Love, Deck the Halls. See, if they had an Eat, Drink and Be Merry in the red, that would be perfect. Oh, they have. Let's see what that looks like. And if I use that one, I can have a bow. Right, we'll make a decision on those, but we'll keep those two out. I don't think because... Okay, we'll leave that at that. And we'll pop that out of the way because we know we don't need any more of that. Okay, so I did say that I was going to cut around this and just slightly decoupage it up. So it's a bit of ribbon there we're going to need later. So I'm just going to use my knife and I'm going to start by going around this handle. And I'm probably going to use my scissors for the rest. It's handy just to use a knife on the inside. I do prefer generally to cut with a knife, but obviously you get those sharp edges and sometimes that's not really what the look you're going for, do you know what I mean? Okay, so we've got that piece there. Just gonna put it up, and I'm just going to put the one layer on this. But obviously if you wanted to use another sheet you could go in and maybe take the mug bit out, have the sort of do this, do a layer of them all, maybe do a layer without that gingerbread man and the cream. It's just what looks like it's closest to you. So that's the sort of theory with decoupage, is that as the image pieces become closer to you, there's, you know, the further things are cut away, the further images. Now, normally with gingerbread men, I am one of those people who bites their head off first. I'm not going to apologise for it. It's the best bit. I do like gingerbread. I did make a gingerbread house one year. I've actually got the sort of actually I've got three different moulds for making gingerbread. I've got a gingerbread house, gingerbread train that I've never done, and well, actually it's not a mould, it's a load of stars in different shapes, and then you sort of make a biscuit with each star, and then you layer them up so as it gets closer to the top it's smaller. I've done it with shortbread, but I haven't actually done it with gingerbread. It's kind of it's not difficult now, because I was going to say, but it's only really me that eats it, because before Pippin, my little Scotty dog, he loved all home baking, to be fair. So if I made a cake or anything, he would be there. And he liked the raw mix, but he really liked biscuits. But his favourite thing, his favourite sweet thing, was gingerbread and shortbread. But he was very picky on shortbread. He really liked the it had to be like the Scottish shortbread was his thing. And there were certain shortbreads he wouldn't eat, like the cheaper ones. He was a bit of an aficionado of shortbread, being Scottish. I always thought that was a little throwback to his Scottish heritage. Bless him. But my friend that I worked with in the garage, she, one year for my birthday, she made me a tin of homemade shortbread, and me and Pippin took a week to eat it all. I mean, there was loads in there, bless her, but it's still like the most appreciated present I've had from a friend. You know, because I know how much trouble she went to make me all of that. I mean, there was more than one batch there, bless her. So yeah, I was really, and I don't think she realised I would be as pleased as I was, but I really was. It's a really nice present. It's nice when somebody takes the time in it. Okay, so I'm not going to go around all of these fronds, but if there's any obvious bits of blue, I'm just going to cut those away. It doesn't really matter if you could go around it as a sort of circle, because when you put it on there, it's going to blend into the original image anyway. Right, let's grab, let me pop that underneath, some foam pads, and I'm only going for a small bit of lift, so I'm just going to use these 1mm foam pads, but this is paper, so I am going to put plenty on. These ones are the Sticks 2 ones, and I'm going to have to cut some into thin pieces in a minute, just to make sure we're giving this all the support we can. And oops, that should be okay there, that should be okay there. And then I've got these little ones here, so let's just nice thin strips. And don't be afraid to cut into your foam pads, because they're very easy to cut into. Doesn't affect their stickiness or anything. So there's my little bit there, supported, and then there. Now it's just going to be thin enough, oops, for my handle. And what I would say is it's worth putting a nice amount of support on, because this is only paper, like I say. The other thing you can do if you don't want to put quite so many foam pads on is pop it onto a piece of card, or light card, before you cut it out. And if you're having trouble bending your peel-offs, your foam pads round, if you take both sides off, so both sort of carrier sheets off, like these bits I'm trying to pick off here. If you take both sides off, it becomes very, very manoeuvrable. So yeah, like that piece there, I did take both sides off because it would be easier for me to get it to stick. And we're just going round, taking all of these backs off. And in actual fact, if you didn't want to take the backs off the ones in the middle, what you could do is just leave those on. They would still provide support, they just wouldn't be stuck to the card. But because the outside ones are, oops, I really must stop putting my fingers in the ones that are sticky. Come on now. There we go. And you out. And where are we up to? So my sister came today, so she is going down to Harrogate tomorrow. So she took 6 boxes with her. So hopefully, the guy's name is Matthew. I think he's going to come and pick them up from her where the benches are being installed. So the benches in Anthony's name are being installed at the Tap and the Tower in Harrogate, and the Sew Bar in Ripon, because those were his 2 favourite places. I think he might have worked somewhere at one of them or both of them. He just generally did tend to work at lots of different places. But these benches are, they've got a sign on them and they're called the chill and spill, so you can chill, sit down, chill out and spill any problems that you've got to your friends, and hopefully, you know, mentally just lessen the burdens. I think there's going to be a piece in the local paper as well for him. So okay, so thinking I really do want to go with that bow, so I'm going to leave that one off. We want some more little pads. Let's use a chunkier one because I've got this bit to use up here. This is a 2mm foam pad. I'm only just, because I've only got that bit left, so I'm just going to try and put it on a few little things just to get rid. Because the more longer they stay around, the sort of stickier they become. It's blocking up a little bit for some reason. Okay. And then we want the bow maker just to finish, and then we'll find some red gems. Now this bit I cut, is that going to be too short? Hopefully not. No, I think we'll be fine. We might need it on the next card, we might not, but let's put those legs down and give that a bit of a trim. Oops. So I've decided I'm going to treat myself to a new mat. I have got glass mats, and I did think about doing getting another glass mat, but I thought maybe about getting a black one, because what I found with my other one was that the lights really glared in it, the reflector off it a lot, because I've got 2, actually I've got 3 lights on today because it's quite dark, but I've got 2 sort of megawatt lamps here. I'm gonna do, here we go, just going properly. Don't know why that's glued up, it was working fine a minute ago. Maybe it's because we've got the 3 lights on. We'll have to have a fiddle with that in a minute. But let's get this card finished first. So, just going to pop the knot over where I put that glue. Oops. And then I'm just getting my reverse tweezers and I will use that just to hold that in place. Usually about 10 minutes or so is a perfect amount of time. Okay, so apologies, the camera did cut out a little bit of me faffing about gems, so you haven't missed anything. All I've done is literally, that bow should be dry now, because I did have to look and see where it got to. What I've decided to do, so I've got these red pearls which I'm going to use on this side, and I've got these little tiny gems, and I'm going to use these to cover up these little sprinkles. So I've got them in all the matching colours to the sprinkles. So let's come in, we want red. There we go. And the other thing you very luckily missed was the drama with my glue, which decided to stop altogether. So while I was checking the video where it got to, it did mean I could sort the glue out. So, you know, there's those. I don't think there's any more red, so we'll move on to, we'll go to yellow because that's next. So we've got the yellow one there, 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 and there. There we go. So let's just these out. Yeah, so the cards all went today, so that was like there was 5 boxes, well 5.5 boxes, so it's a big empty space now, so plenty of a room for me to, there's another yellow one there, there's that bit I've put glue on maybe, yeah, plenty of room for me to load some more now. Okay, let's move round to this Christmas green. There's quite a few of these, so got one there, and there, and there. Let's do those 3 first. And you don't have to put all of these on if you don't want to. I've said before, I could just quite happily sit here and put sparkles on things all day if I was allowed to. Two, 3, 4, 5. Glue there, I think. Okay, so this glue does dry clear, so I don't have to worry too much. That one's a bit light. I don't think that's the same colour. It's snuck in from somewhere else. So come on now. Oh, no. This one is being a pain. Don't particularly want you to stick to my hand. There we go. And then we've got these 2. One, and there's another one I think there. Would help if the gem came with me. Yep, that's good. I haven't missed any. So let's carefully tip that lid back up. And then let's see, what should we do on here? Maybe, how many have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we could just go with the 1. Look. So 1, 2, I've got same size. Yeah, okay. So let's just scoot you up a bit. That one was keen. There we go. So that is my finished first card with this little book. Like I say, those little off-center gatefolds are perfect for just using up the little book and a little scrap of card. So and like I say, any portrait one will likely fit the same way on there. So, but that is card number 1. Okay, so I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2, I thought I would use this one, this cute pug, because how could I not? He is so adorable. And I'm going to come in again with a piece of 6x12. And I thought this one would be really nice on a stepper card. So I'm going to pop this over to the 1 inch mark on this side and put my blade at 1. And I'm going to cut from 1 to 7. I'm going to rotate that card and do the same thing. And this template, I think it is on YouTube now if you look through the UK YouTube posts that I've done. If not, it is on my Pinterest page and my Facebook page. Okay, so once we've done that, we're going to pop this onto our board. And I'm going to score at 1, at 2, and at 7. And I'm just scoring to the cut line. I'm going to turn it over, do the same thing again. 1, 2, and 7. And if I grab a ruler from there, I'm going to turn it over just because the card's folding that way a little bit, so it means it will stay in. And if I line that up with the 6 inch mark, I can score at 6 inches just across the middle there. That's my middle card fold. Okay, so let's pop that out of the way, and then we can start putting these folds in, just easing them into place. And it doesn't really matter at this point if they're in the right place or not, although mine are. It's just a question of getting the card to sort of bend where we want it to go. So I'm just going to use my porcelain bone folder thing of Mum's and just give that good burnish down. And then on these as well, a good burnish down. Ensure they are nice and straight. And then what you should have is a card that you can either have as a stepper that way. I just missed a bit there, I can see it wasn't flat. Or you could indeed do it that way if you preferred that look to your card. I'm going to be doing it this way because I've got that portrait image. Okay, so let's bring in trimmer. And I think I'm going to go with gold again because I'm going to use that musical script again just to use it up. So I'm going to start by cutting a piece which is 2 notches under the 1 and 2 notches under the 6. I really need to start wearing my glasses when I'm crafting because some of these numbers are pretty blurry. Okay, so then I can rotate it round. So this is now 5 inches long, and I need 2 pieces that are going to be 2 notches under the 1. So I'm just lining it up on this right hand side past the cut line. So I'll do 2 of those, and then if I can get that lifted up, I can just take 2 notches off the 5 for that one. And again 2 notches off the 5 with that one. And then this piece here is 4 by 5, so I'm going to go 2 notches under the 4 and 2 notches under the 5. And we'll put those bits under there. Now, I need to just make sure of is that I'm not going to be cutting too much off this dog, so we may not have all of his paws, but we will certainly have the bit that counts, which is the head. Okay, so I'm going to pop those together, and actually what I'm going to do is just grab a little bit of tape, and I'm just going to put that on them so they stay together. So I'm going to start just by trimming as close to those antlers, because we know we've got to take some off this length. It needs to be 4 3/4. So like I say, we are going to be taking his legs out of the picture, and then across it needs to be a 3 3/4. So I think I'll take a little bit off this side, like so, and then my piece that's holding it all together, and now will come off. There we go. But those are going to be exactly the same size. Hopefully they will fit on there, and they do. Okay, so I'm going to keep that piece for there. Now this piece here, what I think I might do is decoupage this up a little bit. So we have got 3 3/4. So if I take, let me just grab a little thing of paper. So we've got 3 3/4. So if I take an inch off each time, 2 3/4. Yeah, I think that's just what I'll do. I'll just do it on, go to 1 inch all the way around. No, let's take off 3/4 of an inch all the way around. So he's going to be put back together, so we don't need to worry. No pugs were harmed in the making of this card. There we go. And then that piece is going to go onto there. Now, if you wanted to, you could even go further. I'm not going to. Next pieces we need is going to be for these little pieces. Now, so we need 2 pieces that are going to be 3/4 of an inch. So let's do those, because those are going to be the upright pieces. Now I don't think I'm going to be able to get 2 pieces out of one. So 4 3/4. What's this one? Too short by the looks. Yeah. So we've got 1. And I've got 2. Again, 4 3/4. No, that's 4 1/2. Let's not go too short. And that's that one there. And then I'm going to turn this long way so we've got the print the right way. And I'm going to do another piece of 3/4 of an inch. And then this one needs to be 5 3/4 for this bottom piece here. Okay, I think that is what we need. Obviously you don't have to use these. I'm using the Matastic card because that's what I've got to hand, but anything from your Duo design pads, anything like that would be perfect for this. Okay, let's come in with these bits with the normal glues first of all. Like I say, I don't think there's a right and a wrong way with this musical instruments, because it seems to be mirrored. So we can pop that on. And even though this pug has got the antlers on, I think if you're doing a card for a Red Nose Day, you could probably get away with that as well. Look at this, what I've done now. Upside down. Let's pop this straight on. Yeah, so in England we have a comedy sort of fundraising day. I think it's usually around about March. Let's pop that onto there. And we call it Red Nose Day. Lots of people do lots of silly things to raise money for charity. And so a little bit more glue. And of course you won't be doing the what's upside down. You'll be paying more attention than I am. Okay, so I'm going to pop that on. Yeah, so we have this thing called Red Nose Day. So I think, you know, if you've got any, there are some kits where we have got for Hunkydory where they have got hats for animals. You could swap the hat out or just cut it into a headband, put a little red bow on. It could be a little girl dog. I suppose there is the lights round. I'm sure you could pop those in. You know, pop it in as part of the design, or even just take it across so you've just got his beautiful head. I think it's possible. We might have to think about that one a bit more though, but it's definitely the cutest for Christmas. And because you've got 6 pages of this one, and you've got 6 pages of the cat as well, so you could be doing exactly the same as the cat, and you could do a little box set with 6 cards in, or 5 and 1 for yourself. And I keep feeling like it's got to go that way, but I don't know for sure. I could be putting this on upside down, and I do apologise for any music aficionados out there. I'm clueless when it comes to music, but it does look really pretty on a card, I have to say. Okay, so let's get on with this piece. So again, let's take that off the back. I was just thinking another way you could strengthen this up would be to use your washi tape on the back. But I'm just going to use it as it is. A little bit of dots in the corner. And obviously we'll be mounting that one up, so we'll be using the foam pads anyway. But let's just float this into place. Put a little bit of pressure on those dots, and then we can go straight onto our card. And round and on. Oh, it already looks cute. Even if you wanted to leave it at that and have 6 cards like that, that would be cute. He would also look quite good on the off-centre gatefold. So again, I'm going to use, actually no, I'm going to use the 1mm Hunkydory ones, because I've got these few to use up, which I found when I was doing something else just now. So these are the square ones. Oops. And you can see I've hacked into them and cut them about like I usually do. So these are all the just little leftover bits. But that has worked out quite nicely there. So let's pop backs off. Again, like I say, apologies, this is not the most interesting part of card making, pulling backs off things. But I always kind of think if you're crafting along, I know I've had a couple of people say they put me on while they're crafting. So you'll be doing the same thing, won't you? So I'm not going to fast forward through So a little bit of tacky glue on the back just to give me that little bit of wiggle room time should I get it in the wrong place, especially since this is paper. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that light at the bottom and his antlers at the top, so the yellow light and the orange light, and his ear on that corner. I think that should be it. So that's where we are at. Again, do I want to use the red? Do I want to use a different colour? So technically we could use all of these different colours because we've got the blue, red and yellow. I think I'm going to come in with these are gold shimmer ones. Oh, I haven't found a sentiment yet as well. Let's grab that sentiment book before I go and forget it, because you know what will happen. I'll get so excited by the gems. Okay, let's see, what have we got? So we could go red, blue, yellow or green. So there's the yellow in the gold. A bit too yellow, don't really like that colour. Got mint green, but that's silver, 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 silver. Jingle all the way in the yellow. That's a possibility. That really stands out as well. Let's have a little look. Got black. We could even go with the brown because we've got the dog in the brown. I don't know. That one, see, I'm terrible. I go along popping them all out and then I wonder why they're all gone. No, I still prefer the yellow. Have we got a dark green? Dark green might be nice if it's gold. Got the red. No, this green. Oh, we haven't got that same one though. What have we got? A time for giving. Thinking of you. Sending Christmas cheer. No, I don't like that one. What's here? Happy New Year. For someone special. Merry Christmas. Let's have a look at winter blessings, because I think sometimes it's nice not to have a Christmas card as such. One that you can send to anyone. Quite like that, but then I would have to have some green gems. Alright, we'll keep that one out just in case I change my mind. Let's see what green gems I've got. I've got those ones. Oh, them ones. Right, there we go. See, this is how quickly I switch from one thing to the other. Alright, we are going pearls, not shimmer today. And we'll pop that there with the others. Right, this can be popped up. We'll use, I need to just file off those tips a little bit. Let's just take that off there. One there. A little bit of glue. I'm going in the centre, right there. And then, that's not very straight on there. Is that going to move? Might do. Yep, it is moving. There we go. Oops. Got it. Now, what do I do with my knife? There you are, hiding up there. Right, so I'm going to go with the darkest ones. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh yes, I like this. 1, 2, and 3. Needs to be just a little bit further over. And then just to bring the bottom piece in, we'll put 1 on each corner. And then what I'm going to do is put one little one on the bottom here. And then what I think that does is drag your eye around, because there's that unevenness there, so your eye wants to see what that's doing there. Okay, so no bows on this one, just a couple of little pearl gems to finish. and that is the finished card. Obviously I'll use that insert pad to just pop an insert on the inside, so I will do that in a second. I'll just cut it to 2 notches under 5 and 2 notches under 6. So I don't try and accommodate this bit here, because you'll never get those bits even. So I just go 5 by 6 and job done. It looks good. So those are the 2 cards today that we've made with the little books. I think, to be honest, they don't look like they're little books. Sometimes I personally worry that it's going to look like just a bit of paper on a card. But these, I mean, certainly because, and I think it helps that I've used cardstock as well, which really elevates them even more. But that's not to say that they wouldn't look as good with the little books. I just don't have a big choice of Christmas little books here. I think I've got a glitter one. I've got like a jumper, Nordic jumper one. Nothing from this year anyway. But that's the 2 cards for today. I think I'm going to leave this blockbuster now. I think I've done a lot with it. Next time I'm going to come back with the magazine. So the last magazine, which was about a month ago. So we're nearly due another one. I need to get that done before the next one comes out. And then after that we can move on to that beautiful stained glass kit as well. So that as well. But we'll do the magazine first. That's going to be ongoing, I would say, for at least the next week, because there's quite a few bits in that. But that's it for today. Hopefully you're having a good weekend. But until next time, happy crafting!